Hello and welcome to Cases to Watch While You Work. If you're busy working but still want something interesting to listen to, you're in the right place. I'll walk you through some of the most intriguing true crime and mystery stories. No need to watch the screen, just listen while you get stuff done. Alright, let's jump into today's case. Have you ever heard a story so strange, so unbelievable, that it feels like it was pulled straight out of a fairy tale? A story whispered over campfires, told to children as a warning, or passed down through generations like a dark secret? But what if I told you, this one might just be real? Today, we're stepping deep into the shadows of history, back to a time before electricity, before science could explain the unknown, a time of kings and castles, of wolves in the woods, and whispers in the dark. We're going to a small, quiet village in the heart of medieval England, a place called Woolpit. In this sleepy little town, surrounded by farmland and thick forests, life moved slowly. People farmed, prayed, and tried to survive. But one day, everything changed. Out near the edges of the village, close to one of the old wolf pits where animals were once trapped, something, or rather, someone, appeared. Two children, a boy and a girl. But these were no ordinary children. Their skin, green. Their clothes, made of fabric no one recognised. Their language, unlike anything ever heard in England. They were frightened, hungry, alone, and no one knew where they came from. Who were they? Were they sick? Were they lost? Were they even human? What followed would become one of the strangest and most enduring mysteries in English folklore. A story that, even 900 years later, still has no clear answers. This is the true story of the Green Children of Woolpit. Let's begin our journey in medieval England, sometime in the 12th century, a time of knights, superstition and survival. In the county of Suffolk, nestled among rolling hills and thick forests, lay a small, peaceful village called Woolpit. Its name came from the deep pits once dug nearby, not for farming or mining, but for trapping wolves, the predators that lurk just beyond the safety of the fields. Life in Woolpit was quiet, simple, ordinary. People tilled the land, raised livestock and worshipped at the local church. Days were slow, nights were dark, but one day, that quiet was shattered by something no one could explain, something or someone that would change everything. Villagers were out working in the fields. It was harvest season, and the sun was high. Suddenly, near one of the wolf pits, someone spotted movement. Two children, a boy and a girl. But they weren't like any children they'd ever seen. Their clothes were strange, made of unfamiliar materials. They didn't speak English, or any known language. And most shocking of all, their skin was bright green. The villagers were terrified. Were they sick? Were they pestem? Were they even human? No one knew. But instead of harming them, the villagers brought them into the town and tried to help. The children refused to eat. The children were clearly hungry, but they wouldn't eat anything the villagers gave them. Bread, meat, vegetables, everything was refused. Days went by. Finally, someone brought fresh beans still in their stalks. The green children lit up. They opened the stalks and ate the beans raw. For the first time, they smiled. Eventually, they learned to eat other food, and slowly, the green colour in their skin began to fade. As the days passed, the two children began to grow stronger. The villagers, though puzzled and uneasy, treated them with kindness. They offered shelter, food, beans at first, and slowly introduced them to a life they had never known. But the mystery didn't go away. In fact, it only deepened. The villagers couldn't communicate with the children. Every attempt at speaking to them was met with confusion. The children spoke in a language no one could understand, strange, melodic sounds, completely foreign. They didn't know how to hold utensils or eat with proper manners. Even the way they moved and looked around, cautious, wide-eyed, seemed off, like they were from another time or another world. Still, the villagers didn't give up. They watched patiently as the girl, curious and more open than her brother, began mimicking sounds, words, gestures. She listened carefully to everything around her, soaking in the new language like water in dry soil. And slowly, she began to speak. At first, it was just fragments, names of objects, people, places. But over time, the words came more easily. Sentences, ideas, memories. It was like watching a door unlock, one word at a time. Sadly, her brother was not so lucky. He had never been as strong as she was. From the moment they arrived, he looked pale and weak, his green skin growing dimmer each day. Despite the villagers' efforts to care for him, the boy grew sick. Some say it was the shock of arriving in a new world. Others believe it was hunger or illness or heartbreak. Whatever the reason, one day, quietly, he passed away. The villagers buried him in the local churchyard, though his name was never known. The girl, now alone, mourned silently. She grieved in a way that was both human and somehow otherworldly. But she kept learning, she kept speaking, and when she was finally able to express herself in full sentences, when the villagers asked her the question that had haunted them since day one, "Where did you come from?" her answer would only make the mystery stranger, so much stranger. When she could finally speak English, the girl revealed where she and her brother had come from. She said they were from a place called St. Martin's Land. She described it as a land with no sun, only twilight. Everything was dim and the sun never shone. She said everyone there had green skin, just like they once had. She and her brother had been looking after their father's animals when they heard a loud noise, like bells. They followed the sound and went through a tunnel or a cave, and when they came out the other side, they were in Woolpit. They tried to go back, but the opening was right in. Who was she? The girl stayed in Woolpit. With time, she grew stronger, physically, emotionally, and mentally. The green tint in her skin slowly faded, replaced by a more natural tone. To the eye, she began to look like any other village girl. But to the people of Woolpit, she was never ordinary. She was baptized in the local church, took on a Christian name, and eventually spoke fluent English. Over time, she dressed like the others, worked like them, and blended into the rhythm of daily village life. But still, there was something different about her. Some say she worked as a servant in the household of a local knight. Others claim she eventually married a man from King's Lynn, far from Woolpit, and started a family of her own. It's even been whispered that she became known for her intelligence, her beauty, and her quiet, watchful nature, as if she was always observing, always remembering something just out of reach. But no matter how much she changed on the outside, one thing stayed the same: her story. Even when she was older, when people thought she might forget, she never did. She always spoke of St. Martin's Land, a place of eternal twilight, where the sun never rose and everything was cast in shadow. She always remembered the tunnel, the sound of bells, the confusion, and the terror as she and her brother stepped out of the darkness into a world they didn't understand. And she always insisted, with quiet certainty, that she and her brother came from another world. She never claimed to be magical. She never asked to be believed. She just told the story exactly as she remembered it, and to this day, no one, not the villagers, not historians, not skeptics, has been able to explain it away. Who was she really? A lost child with a tragic past? An orphan from a war-torn land? Or something far more mysterious? The truth died with her, and all we have left is the legend. Here are some theories and strange explanations. Now, you're probably wondering, what really happened? Over the centuries, many people have tried to explain the mystery. Let's look at the most popular theories. Theory 1. Aliens. Yes, aliens. Some believe the children came from another planet or dimension. Their green skin, a result of a different atmosphere or alien biology. Their strange language, from another world. And the Twilight Land, maybe their home planet had 2 suns, or none at all. It's a wild theory, but it's stuck around for hundreds of years. Theory 2. The Hollow Earth. Another idea is that the children came from an underground world, a hidden civilization beneath the earth. The tunnel or cave they talked about. Maybe it led from that secret world to the surface. The twilight, the green people, the strange food, all signs of a lost underground society. Could there be a hidden world beneath our feet? Theory 3. Flemish refugees. Now here's a more grounded theory. In the 1100s, there were many Flemish immigrants in England, people from what is now Belgium. They spoke a different language and wore unfamiliar clothes. Some villages had been destroyed in wars, and children may have been orphaned and wandering. Maybe the Green Children were Flemish, lost in the woods, and ended up near Woolpit. As for the green skin, that could have been a result of malnutrition, specifically a condition called hyperchromic anemia. Once they started eating proper food, their colour returned to normal. Seems more realistic, right? But it doesn't explain the story about St. Martin's Land, or the tunnel, or the glowing twilight. unless the girl was confused, scared, or trying to explain trauma in the only way she could. You're probably thinking, why does this story matter? The Green Children of Woolpit is more than just a spooky tale. It's a historical mystery that's lasted nearly 900 years. It's been written about by monks, historians, and modern researchers. It's inspired books, movies, and even theories about parallel worlds. But here's the thing, we'll probably never know the full truth. Were they aliens, lost children, or something else entirely? We only have the girl's word, and what she said is still haunting today. The Green Children of Woolpit still remains as one of the oldest and strangest mysteries in English history. And maybe, just maybe, the truth is still out there. Thank you for watching Cases to Watch While You Work. If you found the story of the Green Children of Woolpit as mysterious and captivating as we did, let us know your theories in the comments below. Were they lost travellers, visitors from another world, or something else entirely? If you enjoyed this journey into one of England's oldest unsolved legends, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more strange tales, cold cases, and historical mysteries that will keep you thinking long after the screen fades to black. You can find links to more stories and behind-the-scenes content in the description. Until next time, keep your eyes open and your headphones on, because the world is full of cases just waiting to be watched while you work.